A new phenomenon started several years ago. In fact, a little bit of a conflict. One of them was owned by a drug company. Mail order. You send it away, you got your 3-month supply. I thought it made sense, then I looked into it a little bit. It doesn't make sense. I have to assume they're going to take this medicine for 3 months. I could change what I'm going to do. It's been shipped. The shipping cost gets to the patient, and the drug, whatever the reason, I got to change it to something else. The kid got some kind of reaction. I have to change it. So we have now laid out healthcare cost, 3 months supply, if not more. Does that make sense?
Well, it doesn't make sense, but unfortunately, this is the route that our insurance companies are heading, and.
But you have to commit yourself for 3 months sometimes.
The problem with that is, there's always that possibility that you're going to change the medication, and you're laying out, or the insurance company is laying out all that money, and when they don't have to. The other thing is that sometimes, like I know, we have many calls because they receive their mail order, and it's in the heart of the summer, and the postman may leave it in their mailbox or on their doorstep, and the sun is beating on them, and they're wondering if the product is still good, and what am I supposed to tell them? You should really call where you're getting it from and find out what it is that you're taking, and is it really still good? Because many times when certain drugs are exposed to heat or cold, they do lose their efficacy, and it's a big issue with mail order pharmacy.
If you go to a doctor in New York State where you're filled by a New York State pharmacy, that seems okay. But when you go mail order, it could go to Arizona, Minnesota, someplace. Is that legal? I thought it wasn't originally.
Well,
is that legal?
It is legal, as long as it's coming from a pharmacy that's FDA approved and it's approved by.
Aren't you licensed in a state? So aren't we supposed to be licensed as a doctor in a state,
right?
A pharmacy in a state? Somebody just broke the state rules and we send it someplace else?
But we are allowed to fill prescriptions from out of state physicians.
Yeah, but the intent, if someone's like in New York and they live in Jersey, I saw them in New York, I gave them a prescription in New York, and they physically took the prescription to Jersey. I understand that.
Right.
But it sort of like says to you, why have a pharmacy degree in New York? I can open a mail-order pharmacy in North Dakota and fill the whole country.
Sure.
And New York loses, it invested in terms of an education system.
Right.
A lot of pharmacy schools here. It's controls. There are a lot of controls in dispensing narcotics, and there are some drugs that could be abused, and now it meets maybe a less stringent rule, and maybe some North Dakota or Idaho or Arizona does not mean the stringent laws, because New York State has some very, very careful law. Right. They actually give prescriptions, I don't know if you're aware of it, to doctors for free in New York State, because they have numbers and coding on it, and we're trying to get